Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Dibs, Mr. Crockpot on X. Today, we are doing part 4 of my top 50 big board in the 2025 draft. If you missed parts 1 through 3, check them out down in the description below. Guys, if you love the draft and you want more draft content, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button. Let's go! All right, guys, coming in number 31 in my rankings is edge rusher Landon Jackson out of Arkansas. Landon Jackson doesn't necessarily profile as a high volume sack artist at the NFL level, but he does profile as a high volume snap taker. The floor as an early down defender is easy to love, especially for teams that play gap control schemes up front and want their D linemen to control the point of attack and shed blocks to make plays on the football. First and foremost, Landon Jackson has elite physical tools, most notably his size, strength, and length. He needs a lot of work technique-wise, and he needs to further advance his pass rush repertoire. That being said, I think he's a solid fit for odd or even fronts at the next level with 3 down starter upside once he figures out the nuance and speed of the NFL going forward. Coming up next, number 32, interior offensive lineman Tyler Booker out of Alabama. Booker is a massive offensive lineman who packs a ton of power and physicality at the point of attack. If you're a team looking for a tone setter in the trenches, this is your dude. Tyler Booker has shown the ability to play on the outside, but I like him better on the inside as a guy who can swallow up defenders at the point of attack. Tyler Booker projects as an NFL starter for teams that look to create vertical movement in the run game. Booker's athleticism doesn't make him a universal player, but his length, power, and strength to sustain blocks at the fringes of his wingspan afford him a floor in pass protection that should get him on the field and see action early. Despite his experience of intermittently playing at tackle, he should be considered a guard-exclusive talent in the pros, and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him picked in the top 20 of the draft. Coming up next, number 33, safety Xavier Watts out of Notre Dame. Xavier Watts is without a doubt the best ball hawk eligible for the 2025 draft. Watts arrived at Notre Dame as a wide receiver, and that ability is ever apparent in watching him play in space and key opposing QBs. Explosiveness is a notable trait in Watts' game. His twitch and drive out of flat-footed reads are significant, and his ability to close space at the top of routes in the quick game. Everything about Xavier Watts oozes someone with the necessary qualities to be the quarterback of a defense. Overall, he's a scheme-diverse talent who has demonstrated the ability to play in the high post, in split field coverage, or on the second level of a defense. His football IQ and pattern combo recognition make him a viable fit for any coverage system and should have him well positioned to assume a starting role in the NFL quickly upon entering the league. Coming up next, number 34, defensive tackle Deone Walker out of Kentucky. According to Senior Bowl director Jim Nagy, Kentucky Wildcats D-tackle Deone Walker entered the season at 6'7", 353 pounds with 34-plus inch arms and hands over 10.5 inches. He's a one-of-one prospect in this class. Despite his size, Walker is an extremely versatile player. He lines up everywhere from nose tackle to 5-tech. He gets off the line quickly and uses his powerful upper body to displace offensive linemen. Walker's pass rush plan includes bull rushes, clubs, club swims, pull swims, and rip spins. When all else fails, Walker is able to latch onto offensive linemen and pull them off balance to create an opening. Negative-wise, his lower half is much thinner than his upper body. Combined with his pad level, this makes him unreliable at the point of attack despite his incredible size and strength. His production also hasn't matched his elite measurables, but I do expect someone to fall in love with this guy due to his high floor, and I would be shocked if he falls out of round 1. Coming up next, number 35, cornerback Shavon Revel Jr. out of East Carolina. Shavon Revel is one of the most tantalizing prospects in the 2025 NFL Draft. The physical ability is electric in every application on the field. He moves faster than everyone else, he strikes harder than other defensive backs in tackle situations, and his ball skills yield ample ball production. This is a player that feels like a future star in the pros. Revel Jr. plays a bully brand of football on the perimeter. He's got elite length and stature and offers heavy hands and press coverage. Overall, Revel Jr. projects as a starting perimeter cornerback at the next level and a quality starter. I expect Shavon Revel and his draft stock to rise as soon as the NFL scouting combine begins next week. Coming up next, number 36, quarterback Cam Ward out of Miami. Cam Ward is a big play waiting to happen. It's not always perfect, but Ward's edge is bold and most of the time looks brilliant. This also leads to some high variance outcomes as a passer that can be frustrating to live with, and he's no doubt a guy that requires bold coaching and patience to pull the best out of him at the next level. He plays like a point guard, he makes all the throws, he's got a twitchy release, he's got a great feel for pressure, he does a great job of keeping his eyes down the field, sliding away from free runners and driving accurate throws. He doesn't have many physical limitations when it comes to arm talent. His arm strength and ability to move and take down zone coverage defenders is top notch and the biggest separator between him and the next quarterback. If you're willing to take the good with the bad, he'll make some throws that others in this class wouldn't even try. Negative-wise, he needs to become a better processor. His decision-making at times can be questionable. There were times when he threw really bad balls into the middle of the field, but I think all of that can get coached up at the next level. Overall, I think his alpha mentality, dynamic arm, and good enough mobility easily makes him my QB1 of the draft. Coming up next, number 37, edge rusher Princely Umanmielen out of Ole Miss. Listed at 6'5" and 256 pounds, Princely Umanmielen has played both stand-up outside linebacker and from a three-point stance in line, and he attacks from either side of the defensive formation. He's got long arms and wraps up well when he gets a paw on his target. In run defense, he's been largely boom or bust. The ability to shed blocks is still a work in progress, though it seems more of a technical issue at this point in time. The trait Umanmielen needs to improve the most is his strength. It shows in both pass rushes and against the run. When rushing the QB, Umanmielen has to consistently win with speed around the arc and rarely executes a speed-to-power maneuver, even when it appears that he has set up the offensive lineman to do so. Overall, Princely Umanmielen is a natural athlete at the edge position. With the right development in the NFL, he will develop into a consistent and effective pass rusher due to his plus length, quickness, and ability to bend the edge. Coming up next, number 38, offensive lineman Will Campbell out of LSU. Will Campbell has played more than 2,500 snaps at LSU as a 3-year starter, and none of them have come anywhere other than tackle. However, when you observe Campbell's profile, you notice that his foot speed and functional length linger as a questionable projection to the NFL level. Campbell's athleticism and strength are enough to play tackle in the pros, but for a player who shines in close quarters with brute strength, a future inside at guard should be considered a better home for him to maximize what he does best. Campbell has great explosiveness in linear opportunities and good functional strength, but lacks the length and agility you're looking for in protection on the edge. It'll be interesting to see how he does in the short shuttles during the upcoming draft process, but I'm much more lower on Will Campbell than others. Coming in number 39 in my rankings is edge rusher Donovan Ezeiraku out of Boston College. Donovan Ezeiraku was arguably the most polished pass rusher in the country last season. He's got a whole bag of tricks to get to the edge and affect opposing QBs. After 34 pressures a year ago, Ezeiraku racked up an absurd 60 pressures and 14 sacks in 2024. Donovan Ezeiraku is an alignment versatile prospect with the bend and pursuit to provide depth in an NFL edge room. He has experience aligning with his hand in the dirt and standing up, and will present teams with a versatile profile at the edge rusher position. Concerns remain about Ezeiraku's athletic profile, so next week during the NFL Scouting Combine will be massive for the opportunity to be a first-round selection. Ezeiraku projects best as a rush linebacker at the NFL level, and he's a prime target for the Eagles in round 1 or 2. Coming up next, number 40, interior defensive lineman Omarr Norman-Lott out of Tennessee. Omarr Norman-Lott is a fun defensive line prospect because he's so fast off the line. You never see D linemen move the way he does. His gas tank is unknown because Tennessee didn't use him for more than 25 snaps a game, so getting 30 to 40 a game in the NFL makes me wonder if he can keep that up all game. What I believe he can be right away is a situational player with those 20 to 25 snaps, and he can be productive. I think he could even develop into a reliable pass rusher with his hands and speed, but it will take some time to develop. For Norman-Lott to maximize his potential, he must address consistency issues in his game. While he has shown flashes of brilliance, delivering some of the best individual plays by interior defensive linemen in this draft class, there are stretches where his presence diminishes and he becomes less effective in both the run game and as a pass rusher. The NFL Scouting Combine is going to be massive for this guy's draft stock next week. Alright guys, that's part 4 of my top 50 big board. Do you agree or disagree with my rankings? Let me know down in that comment section below. For everything draft, make sure you lock it down with Party on Broad. Thank you everyone for watching. Stay awesome.